Okay, hello everyone and welcome to tonight's randomised gaming live stream. I'm of course your host, Random Gamer Ribbon, and in tonight's live stream we will be looking at a game with many names, but this is the European PAL version, although I'm running it on a Japanese Mega Drive, and it is Soleil, which is also the name of the village. So in North America, this wasn't actually released by Sega. It was a Sega published game, although it was developed by Ghoul Entertainment and it was also supposedly developed by Nextech. I think Nextech actually bought Ghoul Entertainment during the process of them developing this game, from what I understand. So this, in Japan, this is known as Shin Souseiki Ragnacenty. In Korea it's just called Ragnacenty, and in North America it's called Crusaders of Centy. And a better translation of the actual name, so not Soleil, not Crusaders of Centy, is the new Century of Ragnacenty. Effectively, based on this, if you watch the intro, it's basically says that there's two centuries have passed. So we had a world of monsters, a world of light, and now we have a world of sort of combination of light and darkness in the Ragnacenty. So basically the new century Ragnacenty, the new Century of Ragnacenty would be a better title, but either way it doesn't really describe the game that well. But to begin with, I am going to call my character Ragnar, and then I'll quickly see what people are saying in the chat window. So Ragnar, as a nod to the Japanese name, so let's call him Ragnar. Now, do I want to give him all capitals, or do I want... the character names all capitals? I'll go with all capitals. Ragnar. So as a nod to the actual game name, I'm going to call my character Ragnar. There's quite a few names you can call your characters. Obviously, you can be a bit naughty and call him something rude as well. Incidentally, if you don't call him anything, you will literally have a blank name for default, so the whole game will just be like ... what do you think ... So let's get going. Okay, I'll check the chat in a second, everyone. We start with a mum, and now the moment you have been waiting for, a birthday party for Ragnar. Thank you all for coming here today. Thank you. Happy birthday, Ragnar. You are 14 years old. I have a present for you. Mum, this is the sword your father used to wield. He was very strong and kind, but he lost his life in battle. I really don't want you to have this sword, but it is the law of this land for 14-year-old boys to follow their fathers into battle. Now, I should state, if any of you guys are from America, this is actually a different translation to the North American version. The North American version was translated by Atlus. This European version was actually translated by SEGA of Europe. You can get it in Spanish, French and German as well, but it's quite a literal translation. So just before I go any further, yeah, this is a really nice looking game. Let me just see what you guys are saying in the comments. So Shining Rogue is the working title. I think Rogue was the nickname Sega gave to live action RPGs back then. No connection to roguelike. In fact, Rogue, I think, being a sort of free roaming, do what you want kind of take on it, MD. So yeah, no connection to roguelike. Although technically the very first Rogue games are like really early. So what else are you guys saying? Yeah, kind of like Rogue, Scoundrel. Yeah, that type of, that's the correct sort of basically do what you want type of thing. Call him Nigel. Yes, no, I think there's already a good Nigel in Landstalkers. And you're chatting about X-Men. Is it International Women's Day or just is? So, or it's just gone by. So it's worth mentioning that. So this, yes, this is one of the. This is a really good Mega Drive game. It's 1994. Let's just chat. What we got is a very nice looking game. From the intro, as you see, well, it wasn't a happy ending, but you should try to continue your father's good works. Let's chat to our friends. Pico, wow, I want a sword too. I can't wait until I'm 14. Oh, I always forget about Shadowrun on the Mega Drive. I really want to get a copy of that, but because it never got released over here, it's a bit of a nightmare to get. Same with the Mega CD version. Sword 2, I can't wait until I'm 14. Bull, I got a sword too, but not... I got a sword too, but not a rusty one like that. Mine's brand new. Yeah, taking that joke a bit too far, I feel, MSD. I got a sword too, but it's a nice rusty one like... I've got a sword too, but not a rusty one like that. Mine's brand new. And what else have we got? Alice, happy birthday, Ragnar. This is a beautiful sword. But I couldn't actually find a video on the PAL translation, so this is going to be interesting. I think it's going to be okay at 60 Hertz. So I think it should be okay. So I think... Pico. Fireworks. Is somebody going somewhere? I've just remembered Amon Lee's day. Let's go and see him before he goes. So we've got... Okay, so the name when they're speaking is shown in capitals, but in the text it's normal. The companions, yeah, they do when you start becoming one if you don't train hard at the Raffler Sea training ground. There's a lot of tongue-twisting names. I think they did a rather direct, literal translation. Come on, hurry, I want to see Amon. I like him because he is brave and strong. So yeah, I think the translation is very literal. Yeah, there are actually quite a lot of sort of diver effects in this game, so obviously they did mean to people to have composite, but it definitely looks nicer on RGB. So here we go. We've got our dog companion as well. Johnny's house, don't feed him because he will get fat. Signed, Ragnar. Woof woof. I have actually got some old save files on this from other former owners, hence why I didn't show the naming selection screen just as I began. Yeah, the rug I think was supposed to be checked, but there's lots of differing here, like with the clouds, which looks really... does look quite nice. The fact they've really tried to implement lots of effects. Yeah, these clouds are mesh effects, but they do look really nice, those clouds. It's not just a nice effect. There's lots of mesh effects in this game. So let's chat with some of the characters. Old man, my sister is at Dahlia Valley, and my nephew is at the training ground. Everyone is in dangerous situations. I can't go home because I don't know how to throw my sword. This is obviously an inn. You can jump and you can run in this, but admittedly my character, when you first start out, I think you're quite slow. Oh, we've got a... is that a cow? Moo moo. Cow sitting in a car. I'll see it. I hope... Sonic's not that far into the game, so hopefully... although it's difficult to actually talk to him because he's quite... So to get... You can see him... Story of the late Sega Genesis, yes. And the Sega Saturn as well. Actually, I've been in there, haven't I? And the Story of Saturn developers when they weren't that good. So what's she going to say? Be careful, it's easy to lose your life in the training ground too. But as well as treasure chests, there are coins hidden under the grass. Story of most Saturn games, yeah. Or at least the badly programmed ones. Or the developers that realised if they added mesh transparencies on the Sega Saturn, they killed the frame rate so bad it wasn't worth adding them. The layout of Dahlia Valley is very complicated. There are monsters there too. It's not a place for children like you. Even if you do have a sword, stay away from there. There's lots of animation in this game, and it's very, very smooth move. I see you are now old enough to carry a sword, Ragnar. Have you heard about the medals? The training game consists of beginners, intermediate, and expert courses. You can learn bronze, silver, and gold medals. Respectively, once you have achieved enough to earn all 3 medals, take them to the king, and he will exchange them for the holy sword, the true sign of a hero. Farewell to Avon. Is it? Your 14th birthday, so we're both being prompted to chat to the king. Let's go chat to everyone first. I mean, this really does... The map design is very reminiscent of Zelda, I have to admit, with this one. There was never a sequel, sadly, even though it's a very impressive looking game. This is one that could have done with the sequel, but Ghoul Entertainment, who started development, ended up getting bought out. By the way, what's the volume like for the game? Does it want to be a touch louder? Ghoul Entertainment actually got bought up by Next Tech during development, and Next Tech were well known to be basically a big shadow developer of Namco. They developed a lot of Namco games, and I think possibly that Ghoul started doing Namco games. Yeah, from what I understand with the mesh effect, basically this is one of those games I think as well, I didn't give it enough appreciation when I eventually got a copy, so it sort of just sat there. These days it's actually getting quite expensive to buy, I noticed. I was quite surprised. It's definitely gone up in price. It is. We've got a gold apple there. Was that cross removed in the American version? That's a good point. I don't know, because obviously was there a holy... No, it may well have been. And the Mega System, yeah, or even the 32X. I mean, it's very, very smooth. You can just see I just roll the character and the animation. That is really, really smooth. You can jump later on, but I can't jump at present, so... And the music is very good. It looks... This basically screams late Mega Drive game. It also screams like it could be a really, really early Saturn game as well. It has that visual look. Fountain. Now is the time to fight the Fountain of the Hero. Nice little, I mean, there's lots, like, you got the hero, there's lots of art. Obviously exit that side. There's lots. The town's actually pretty big as well, as you see, so we've got lots to explore. I want to try and chat to everyone before I'm doing my traditional thing of an RPG of chat to everyone before journeying in and around. We've got a guy there as well. Can I chat to him? Vicious rabbits. It's impossible to negotiate. Terrorized by a vicious rabbit, it's impossible to negotiate him unless you can talk to him. Chop up the flowers. I think you can chop up Thanks for your support, MSD. Oh, I'm sure we'll get there in the end. We're steadily building. These live streams have got a lot more views. I think I can chop up some of the grass. I'm not sure I can chop up the flowers in this one. I'll just take a quick chop. No, I don't think I can chop up those ones. You can chop up some other ones. House for sale. We can't go into the house for sale. What if you can buy the house at the end? Oh, so the game is directing me to go to... I'll actually go. I'm going to try and be cheeky and go out one of the other exits just because I like to game break. Probably a dialogue that says, no, you should speak to the king. Or it could just actually just take me out. Oh, there's a... I'm guessing this is the training ground? What's this? And there you go, the title of the game. Oh, I've just realised you haven't... No, I forgot to update the overlay. Okay, there we go. You can chop a few things, but... I think you can chop grass in certain areas, but not... Yeah, I just realised I hadn't got the PAL cover of Soleil. No one ever noticed I got the theme park up there, so... It's a weird place. Just keep hearing before you go there, you must learn all the training gals how to throw your sword. Okay. You must learn at the training ground how to throw your sword. Well done, Amon. You have passed the trial. Here is your reward. This sword will be of great help to me. Journey will be a long one, but I know you will succeed. Good luck. Yes, Your Highness. Pardon me there. There is the European PAL cover is absolutely dreadful for this game. The weird face and I probably should have gone with the Japanese cover actually. This is the prison for monsters who enter the village. We use them for research purposes, but I'd rather wipe them out. You can't chat to the monsters. Oh, we can hide though. That's one of the touches of this. Some great animation and graphics in this. I think it's still fairly cheap to pick up a Japanese copy. I think it's sold quite well. It's getting a bit expensive to pick up a European one, although I'm not that sure what is expensive. It's still fairly common. Rafflesia is a training ground where you can become a hero. Do a good job. So yeah, the translation is perhaps a little bit too literal. The king looks like he's a bit of an elf actually. It's just weird. You have the multiple faces, the sort of crystal. It looks like someone at SEGA of Europe did it in a hurry because they didn't want to use the Japanese image. The sword. You must be Ragnar. It has been a long time. Your father was an extremely brave man. He saved this town with that sword many times. Enough reminiscing. You have come to report your 14th birthday, have you not? I will grant you entrance to the Rafflesia training ground. Train hard, young boy. Yeah, it's a really weird front cover. It's like one of those. So obviously I can't get past this room in a minute. You can throw your sword later on, so I just need to learn how to throw it. I must admit, even I didn't give this that much credit. This is one of those games I played a little bit and then sort of put aside and never really got back into. This Landstalker's Light Crusader and Story of Thor are all games that I need to actually finish on the Mega Drive. Despite actually picking up most of them, I have not actually finished any of them. Oh, the others have gone home. He is a hero. Yeah, I never understand so sometimes it was a creative change. Sometimes they felt the cover would look better if you had the North American. Sometimes I think it was just Sega were just bickering internally and decided they didn't want to use the artwork. I mean, there were some things where they did have to pay royalties to the various divisions. So if Sega of Europe wanted to sell a Japanese game, they would actually have to pay Sega Japan royalties and things like that. Light between the leaves. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a mesh effect as well. That's another subtle touch so that you can't move around. But yeah, you can run around the tree. That it reminds me a little bit of Albert Odyssey in the look, actually. Yeah, it probably was a case of the employees needed something to do when they should have just literally just translated. They should have really kept the same, unless there was a specific censorship region or a reason for not being able to use those images. The playground, they should have really pretty much used the same standard to really build up. I can understand sometimes that you maybe we can cut that grass. So we can cut the grass there. Got some rather charming little music. I keep reminded I wanted to do a video of Albert Odyssey after we did the stream. Although the stream, we had the instance the first time I tried to stream it. It didn't go too well because it was a slight random bug. Or more specifically, I think it might have been a modded issue. You can find... So your health is represented by apples, and you can actually find apples hidden in things if you chop the grass. Much like Zelda, so like the Zelda. You can even find gold as well. Just like rupees in Zelda. This draws a lot from Zelda. I do quite like that animation you falling down the holes. It is really nice. So does anyone have any particular suggestions for... Oh, you've actually got Crusader of the Century. So... Yeah, so that's interesting. They did change... They didn't... So there are some changes. Okay, that's... You raise a good issue there, MSD, because that's not listed on... the cutting room floor, actually. So flower. Oh, we can talk to the flowers, can't we? Do you want to know your future? Let's go to the fortune teller. Nope, I can't enter the fortune teller. You can actually chat to flowers and animals in this one, so... That's very interesting. So they did actually change the cross. So the European version is... Oh, you're using KGen's fusions while you're watching, yeah. Yeah, I didn't realise the translation was changed for the North American version, because obviously Atlus didn't want to pay SEGA of Europe royalties. Oh, so that's a slide. We can actually go down the slide. I do like the playground. It's a nice little area. We've got the kids. Just not there. Today's a cool dungeon. Nice. There's actually a really cool dungeon in the clouds in... and we can slide down this. In Story of Thor 2 as well. I should do the original Story of Thor at some point. That's one game that I will have to stream on a PAL Mega Drive. It's only the PAL version, and that one is optimised. The fortune teller isn't there, so let's... So what's in the other tent? See a mermaid for free. Yeah, the European is apparently a direct translation of the Japanese one, as they use the Japanese script. And some people complained the European version I saw was a bit too literal in points, but at least it's very true to the Japanese translation. Okay, so we have to go to the Rafa training ground. So can we go to the... Let's go there. We can actually go into the training ground. Okay, so this is the valley, so I want to go to the training ground first. But you can actually, there's a kind of you can actually explore things a bit out of order then. Oh, did Atlus used to do bad translations before Persona 2? So the Raffsia School, Raffsia. You must be Ragnar. The king has instructed me to let you pass. Yeah, I gave my character name a bit of play on the Japanese one. Oh, this is foreground. God, you must be... Yes, you got some nice foreground with the trees there. So this really are taking... They really are... You must have the ability to jump, which you don't have. I am the instructor. You know the purpose of this training ground, don't you? No. Then I'll explain. You'll go to finish all 3 courses. At the end of each course, there is a treasure chest containing bronze, silver, or gold. You must collect or choose the right course. So we need to start the... So he doesn't like the fact we can still have fun as an adult. Excellent course. Try it if you can do the accelerated jump. Although my character's 14, so he's still a kid, so he can still do kiddie things. Or a teenager. I've only played the PSP translation of Persona 1, but that was really good. So you're not a fan of these training sections. I think these training sections are meant to really get you into grips with the game. So it means it's basically a slow starting game, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Slow starting games can often get into bigger things, but if you're wanting something a bit punchy, then... then it can definitely put people off at the start if the game's a bit slow. Story of Thor on Sega Saturn gets into the action very, very quickly. I must admit, my memory of this game, I didn't play it that far, and I can't remember any of this, so this is basically like a first-time playthrough. Oh, we can smash the crates. Oh, it's got to take a couple of hits. Oh, obviously got to be a bit careful. I need to watch my apples, which are the health, so I assume that's going to be a spike. Yeah, Story of Thor 2 throws you, and even Story of Thor 1 both throw you in the deep end very, very quickly. I don't mind slow openings, but I do think they can be... Sometimes you can have games that throw you in the deep end too quickly, although that's pretty rare, and certainly during this era. It's more modern games tend to do that. I think you could have a few games that were a bit slow. So even Landstalkers I always felt was perhaps a little bit slow for me, but once I started actually spending time with it, I realised it's a really good game. I tell you a game that is incredibly slow is Persona 5, if we're mentioning Persona series. That must be one of the most boringest starts to an RPG I have played in a long time. Yeah, it's definitely not got that many colours at present. Monster Crossing, be very careful. I'm really liking the music. So I really enjoy what I've played of Persona 1, 3. I've really enjoyed. Persona 5 has taken me like 10 hours and I've only just got into the sort of first real castle properly, and it was just boring me to tears, and people are saying it's the best RPG ever, and I'm like, no, this is one of the weakest games in the Persona series. Yeah, I must admit, I feel the first Persona 1 just felt much betterly paced than Persona 5. Yeah, if you... Persona 5 gives you like a sample battle section right at the start, and then the game just slows up. This did say this was the beginner course, didn't it? But I can't do these rope jump bits at the minute, so I also need the jump bit. Yeah, the Eterin Odyssey games are very good. I mean, I've played a lot of RPGs. The ones that are rubbish these days are like those cheap ones, like the Neptuna games. I think the Arctis Extra series. There are also a lot of modern RPGs are really cheaply made. Yeah, Persona 1 I really enjoyed because I felt that had much more pace, and the Persona 5 I was just finding incredibly slow. And the way they'd written the story was quite bad. You could literally cut out about 3 hours and you wouldn't have missed anything. It's because they'd written the story quite badly. There was just sections you could literally just cut out because nothing happened in them. They're retelling you the same thing. It's like, we cut this out and move this here. I was quite surprised with... I mean, visually it's quite a nice game, Persona 5, and it's got some great mechanics, but it just feels it was a bit of a step back behind the original game. Okay, those bees look suspiciously like the ones from Link to the Past. Your sword swinging is a little slow, I will say. I can't say I've played Catherine that far. I've only briefly seen it. It's a sort of interesting puzzle game, so... It is one of those... I've got a lot of 360 games as well that I played and just haven't got really round into playing properly, so I don't like to really pass judgment on anything I haven't spent time with, but yeah. I actually picked up Sekiro and Persona 5 Royal for Christmas, and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice has been getting a lot more playtime than Persona 5. I just couldn't believe how slow Persona 5 was. I mean, we're already into the action in this. Okay, it's a training ground, but we've got some action already. Persona 5 is like a couple of minutes of action right at the start, and then it's like they do the worstest thing possible, and what I really hate in storytelling is when you have a sequence in the future and then they take you all the way back to where everything started, and I absolutely loathe that as a storytelling mechanic. Anytime I see anything with that mechanic, so television episodes that do that where you suddenly get the future section and then it goes back, I loathe that type of storytelling. It's abysmal. You do not tell a story like that unless you have some subtle twists that go along the way. Collects the bronze medal, Ragnar. There is nothing worse than that. So there's the bronze medal in my inventory. Down. I mean, I don't expect a game to be 40 hours long. I mean, even a game like Landstalkers, you could probably quite easily get 40 hours of it. Some of these Mega Drive games, you can easily get the time. This opening training area is massive. Yeah, I can appreciate it might be a touch too large. Okay, that's a bit weird. I'm going left and it's taking me... Looping back. Yeah, it's... I see, yeah, it's coming round. Yeah, that's... You don't often see that in games. It's interesting design. I can see why you wouldn't necessarily do it though, because it confuses the player slightly, because effectively it's like a section's missing out. I actually quite like Sword of Vermilion, I have to be honest. I quite enjoyed it when I played it. Abracadabra, sword thrower. Oh yeah, no, looping. Yeah, stories that start... What I'm saying is those stories where basically they start in the future, so you have like a character go, this is where we're currently at, like something's happened, someone's been injured or something, and then all of a sudden it does we'll go back 72 hours and then show you why we got to this point, and I hate that as a story mechanic. And Persona 5 does that right at the very start, where your character gets captured, then you're like a well-known thief at this point, and then it's like, oh, now we've got to show you how you became a well-known thief, and I'm just like, yeah, it occurs in lots of media, but I absolutely loathe that as a storytelling. Yeah, lots of media does it. But I just find it really irritating. I mean, I've seen lots of media do it, and occasionally it can be done well, but usually it's often done in TV episodes. It's just... I'm surprised how big the maps... This has got big maps. Oh, I've just gone the wrong way again. It really is a big sort of Zelda clone. It definitely does need more love from fellow gamers, I will admit. So that's Monster Crossing. Be very careful. Let's actually see what's this way. But yeah, the music is really good in this. It's definitely one of these games I need to spend some quality time with as well. It really is a game I've just not finished myself. I'm playing this thinking, yeah, I've got a couple of RPGs on Mega Drive. I think partly because I originally didn't have a Japanese Mega Drive, so And I got to the point where not having games at 60 Hz, when I know they're supposed to be played at 60 Hz, it's okay if there's a PAL game or if they're fully optimized. But when they're not, it's just... it started to irk me quite a bit. Although I will admit, between RGB and 60 Hz, I found I prefer to play games in 50 Hz with RGB than 60 Hz with something like an RF aerial. Because when I first got a Mega Drive back in about 2000, it was quite... no, I got about 2004, 5. I didn't have a... so yeah, I'm a very late Mega Drive owner. I didn't actually get an RGB lead for a little while because it was quite hard to source them at that point because you didn't really have the sort of shops you do now, and it was really irritating. A, trying to source one, and B, having to play the Mega Drive on RF for a few weeks. It was just like no from start. That's... yeah, I've heard a few people like to play 50 Hz versions of their favourite games. I just think it's a bit nuts. If the game was designed to be played at 50 Hz, then play it at 50 Hz. If it was designed to be played at 60 Hz, play it at 60. Play what the developers intended the experience. I come from an industry background, so I want to play the intended experience the developers wanted people to experience, not the sort of patched up NTSC or PAL version. I was hoping you could actually go throw that there, but you can't. So can I do the intermediate course? It did say I needed jumping, didn't it? Yeah, this is a game that was built for NTSC. If you have the ability to jump. Okay, I don't have the ability to jump. Definitely like Robocod, I think. Mega Turrican, no, I think Mega Turrican isn't running too fast, but the Victodine Robocods, I'm nigh on sure Aquatic Games is totally broken at 60 Hz because you've got to press the buttons too quickly. So I think I need to go speak to the king now I've got the bronze medal. Mega Turrican was designed to be done at 60 Hz, surprisingly. Factor 5 seemed to work on NTST. It depended on the developers. Some PAL developers did build for NTSC, and some built for PAL. Yes, you're right there as well, Nico. There was a issue where you'd get SCARTs that would just have composite on them. Yeah, James Pond 2 I think was built, so all the James Pond games, Rolly to the Rescue is too fast as well. I don't. Zool might be, I'm not entirely sure, because Zool is actually weirdly region locked. So Zool is one of the few games that's actually region locked as an EA game. Most EA games aren't. I don't think I can talk to the mermaid. Or the house that you want to know your future. I can't talk to the fortune teller. Zool's just a fast game, but it may be. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, the training ground's definitely a bit slow, I will admit. But we already probably about 40 minutes into the stream, I imagine. Yeah, 48 minutes, so we've not actually got that far into it, and the training ground is definitely a bit of a slow. Heard that you found a bronze medal. Congratulations, don't overdo it. So I need the jump ability. Just can't actually equip any animals yet. You get all these slots for your animal helpers who'll follow you around. Yeah, you can get RGB. You can also get composite SCART, so quite why you'd want composite SCART, because you just want an RCA SCART. I suppose some TVs didn't have RCA ports, so you composite over SCART. So I've got... Can I do the silver then? Turning bronze, silver or gold. You must collect all... I'm going to brave the intermediate course, even though I don't have the jump ability yet. So will that chop... Oh, it does chop the grass. That's actually really... The actual way the sword moves is really very nice. Yeah, a few of the core design games I think may be running a little bit quickly. Some core design were a bit weird. They didn't optimize all their games. They only seemed to optimize some. Yeah, because technically you can actually get S-Video SCART cables, and I think you can get component SCART cables, or YPBR, which is component, but they're really, really rare, and it's really, really rare to actually get TVs that support them. I've never seen a component one, but I have seen a TV that had S-Video wired over SCART, but it's really rare. So, okay, I can't do... As it says, I need the jump button, so I can't do anything. Oh, Skeleton Crew. Yes, I have actually got that on the Mega Drive. That is a very good game. And we just recently covered Thunderhawk 2, which they did on the Sega Saturn. They did Thunderhawk on the... that's really good as well. I'm actually heading to Dahlia Valley. I think this is the whole Dahlia Valley. I think this is the only place I can go at the minute. I will say the direction in this game I remember being a little bit confusing about where you need to go. So eventually we'll get to be able to talk to our animals and they'll start following us around. The fortune teller gives us that ability. And when she gives us that, we can no longer talk to humans. So there's a stretch of the game where you can't talk to humans and you can only talk to animals, and eventually you get the ability to talk to both back. Well, that's really nice, the way the animation, they grow back. Yeah, most TV, you require your SCART socket. In order for it to support S-Video over SCART, it requires a specific S-Video SCART cable. So the SCART actual port has to be wired for S-Video and not RGB. And very few have that. Very few TVs have SCART sockets wired for S-Video. They're normally RGB. Thunderhawk, yeah, there's actually 4 Thunderhawk games. As I was doing the research when I was writing Thunderhawk 2 on the Sega Saturn, you had the original version on Amiga, then you had a Mega CD game, which is superb. I don't actually have the Amiga's version. We've only got the Mega CD and Sega Saturn ones. And when I saw that there was an Amiga and PS2 one, I thought, right, we should probably get them for the archive. So I'm not sure what I'm looking for in this valley, but this is about the only place I can go at the minute, so... Okay, so obviously we need to go this way because we can't jump yet, and they're obviously jump platforms. Wonder Dog again, that's another brilliant game. Oh, oh. Oh, so that's what they do. Wonder Dog is one of my favourite games. I had the Amiga's version. And at some point I should stream the Amiga, but I need to dig it out. It's been years since... Although the Amiga's going to be a bit difficult to stream because... well, no, we've got two. We've got an A1200 and A500. And the A500 is very temperamental these days. It has an issue with one of the OO chips. So we'll... Wonder Dog is... Yeah, I should... If I get them... We only have a PAL Mega CD, so I've been trying to source a Japanese one, so... And maybe if we get more followers and subscribers, we should be able to actually get some more stuff. I did just note today that... Oh, that's interesting. That I'm going to have to actually look at... They're changing the tax rules in the US, so... Is this a boss fight? So you can take her place. It's an unexpected boss fight. The collision's not great on him. We go to the playground, it was as though she was more than just a normal human. No, it's actually to do with the American tax rule changes. Apparently it's going to affect overseas YouTubers, I saw, so I need to look up at that. I wasn't aware that was happening. They just suddenly got an email saying that's changing, so... Basically, I think because YouTube transfer the money from America to the UK or something, so I'll have to look that up. Even if you don't live there, yeah, it's a weird one. You've got to pay taxes. I think because it's a US corporation. Okay, thank you very much for your donation, MSD. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much there. Very much appreciated. No, the Amiga does... I don't believe it doesn't do VGA. It does RGB SCART, though. It's quite an old... It may do VGA via certain... Oh, you can actually walk on the roof there. That's a bit of a weird thing. You can actually walk on the roof from that point. Oh, it just came up today. Yeah, that's what I just literally had a mail about it, and I was just... I literally before this stream it had a mail, and I was like, okay, so this is going to affect... I mean, we don't get a huge amount of revenue on the channel, but it does go towards helping pay the bills, so to speak, and we can put it towards what little we do get. We do help put towards new content as well. I do like the way the water's now flowing through the stage. That's really nice. Really impressed with the fact we're unlocking the water, and it's... Obviously the fortune... I've got to head towards the fortune teller. Yeah, the Amiga does RGB, although getting RGB ports to the Amiga was actually quite tricky. We had to get a custom-made one. The ZX Spectrum actually does RGB. I mean... Oh, Taking damage there. Yeah, sometimes it can be a bit confusing with the flat visuals. Ooh, I don't want to take damage there. I should actually do a quick save. Yes. Through the level. Yeah, there's some really nice touches they use with very simplistic graphics. And I think often games get a little bit too overly complicated now. Yep, I can just avoid that. There is a thing for sometimes making things too graphically pretty. Although there's a slight issue there with the fact it's not really a bug, it's just a minor graphics thing with the fact the coins are actually shown on just a blue tile. But yeah, I should get out the Amiga at some point just so we can actually... I need to actually check it's all up and running, but yeah. I am an Amiga. The ZX Spectrum as well is what I started out on. I would love to be able to look at some Spectrum games, but quite frankly, they are a nostalgia trip that if I go through, they will be very unpleasant because they were before a lot of modern controls. The other thing is we don't have an RGB ZX Spectrum, so we'd need to acquire one because literally I think we could only stream a... Oh, now that's a weird one. It wasn't clear to me you can climb these vines. I literally thought that was a wall. And there you've got some more transparent cloud effects or mesh effects. I do love this, all the scrolling backgrounds and everything. Yeah, I mean the Spectrum stuff looks very dated now as it was sort of monochrome colour, but I mean it was my first computer back in... Oh, I can't remember. We actually got, I think it was, our dad got the one from, we got some from my uncle. I think about 80, must be about 86, 87. Oh, I don't want to do too much. So I've got movable blocks. I've got some sort of max. Am I supposed to move that in there? Yeah, there's some really good stuff on the ZX Spectrum. It's rare, or as they were, was it Ultimar Play the Game? Because a lot of their stuff was really good. So I can't actually go across there yet. So I need the jump. So obviously I do need to talk to the fortune teller. I mean, some of the stuff on Spectrum is very dated now, so I will be honest. And the control schemes, some games didn't, a lot of games didn't even support joypad or joystick at that point. Did you block yourself out? I didn't quite... Okay, I see it. Yeah, the stream is... It looks like the stream's slightly lagging for some reason. Okay, let me check. I might know why that is. Hang on a second. Okay, so I need to go back to town now and talk to the fortune teller. And we'll take the quick way back down. Okay, appreciate all the likes, guys. Very much appreciate everyone enjoying the stream. Had a few people. So the town of Soleil. I don't think many people have actually seen this PAL translation before, because when I was looking, the English translation, I could not find any videos on YouTube. I couldn't seem to see any. I could see lots of Crusader of the Centuries, and I saw a few of the long play channels were incorrectly listing this Crusader of the Century and Soleil playthroughs as the same when they're not, because you've got different scripts and storyline. I should actually save it. So here's a weird part in the game where we change who we can chat to. But it's interesting to see they left the sort of cross in the church, which was missing in the US version, but that was kind of the standard change for North American version. I know they did that in Shining in the Darkness, but traditionally we tended to get the oh, he was hiding in the one that said, "Oh, I don't like playing in the playground." There he is. Oh, sorry, Nike, I didn't see your question there. What media did the Amiga and ZX Spectrum used? Okay, so the Commodore Amiga used floppy disks. It also did support hard drives later on. And there's the fortune teller. I'm just going to chat to the people here before I speak to the fortune teller, because so I say the fortune teller gives you a vocabulary change. The ZX Spectrums actually used old cassette tapes. So the ZX Spectrum is notorious for taking 10 to 15 to 20 minutes to load anything because it used cassette tapes. Yeah, the search algorithm is pretty bad. It's a bit weird. It is quite bad searching for stuff on YouTube. I mean, there may well be videos of the English version of Soleil, but yeah, it often gives you the top videos of people have put it like the name. So you had like the long play one, even though that was on Crusader of the Century. Let me see your future. No, it's not free. Going to change the world for better or for worse. Soon there'll be a change in yourselves. See what you were unable to see before. Control your future. Oh, we've got shadows as well. That's quite nice. Although admittedly it's a mesh effect, but it's nice they did that. Going to Iris. Okay, we've got to speak to... Yes, cassette tapes are... Put it this way, I do not have fond memories of cassette tapes because often they would not correctly load. So you'd have to keep the tape clean. Sometimes they just wouldn't load and you have to reload. But loading back in the ZX days would take... Some games would be quick, maybe about 5 to 10 minutes, but usually 10, 15. I'm aware of games that would take like nearly 20 to 30 minutes to load each level. They were deeply painful to play. I just can't go back. It wouldn't even be advisable for me to stream a lot of games because literally you would get half of it going. That would be half the stream. The other thing is you also had a lot of coloured light flashing effects that would actually be quite difficult to... So I can't actually talk to people now. All the people I talk to, I just speak gobbledygook to since the fortune teller has changed it. But I can talk to the dog. That's been my first companion. Oh, Ragnar, yesterday's meal was delicious. Huh? Do you understand what I'm saying? I see. You met that weird fortune teller, didn't you? Don't worry, you'll be back to normal. I'll help you find that fortune teller. Johnny the dog joined your group. Press start and discover his abilities. And there's my dog, and there he is stuck on the side already. But it's nice to have these animal companions. Just, I literally cannot talk to anyone now. Yeah, so the Amiga was floppy. The ZX Spectrum, I think, is only cassette. So I would love to do ZX Spectrum stuff, but at the minute we don't actually have a RGB ZX Spectrum. I'm not even sure there's a Spectrum. I think it only does, the version we have only does RF. It's an old one. I'm not even sure it still works. So, do I see? Is it just that one flower I can talk to? Oh, I can talk to the rabbit as well. Oh, he's going to teach me how to jump, isn't he? Actually, while I'm here, I'll just save it. If I wanted to stream a few Spectrum games, I could use the Xbox One ones that are included on the Rare Replay, seeing as those, to be honest, are some of the best games on ZX Spectrums. And that way you could stream a couple in a night, because I'll be honest, most Spectrum games, after about 15 to 20 minutes... Yeah, PS2 hard drives are definitely... Yeah, the stuff does age and you have to replace it. I mean, we're on our second PS2, so... Oh, there he goes again. He doesn't like being spotted. $800 Marlin? I don't have 800 Marlin. That fluffy dog look. Yeah, basically some of the companions fly, so obviously they use the generic sort of style, so literally the dog does look like it's flying. A little bit of slow down there. Well, maybe that's intended, because it's... Yeah, it slows you down as you move. IED. What's an IDE? Can I ask? Because you're that's pretty impressive tech knowledge, Nico, to be able to do that, and that slightly escapes my remit. An IDE to SD card converter. That sounds quite impressive. So yes, we're going to have to Dahlia. I think Leitch is this way, so Dahlia Valley. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. But visually, this is a really, really impressive. So, visually very impressive. Graphics very good. Gameplay pretty solid. I will say, yeah, I will probably agree MSD is a little bit slow. And the direction initially is not that clear. Possibly it's a bit lost in translation. But I don't think it probably is that much. Seeing as this is literally a literal translation of the Japanese one. It does feel a bit like... this was developed by a studio that hadn't done a sort of game like this before, so there are a few things that aren't quite flawless with it. It's still a very good Zelda clone. Story of Thor is probably a better game, but I think this is possibly a bigger game than Story of Thor. The original Story of Thor is quite a short game, although it does have fantastic music as well. Yeah, the flying dog's a bit weird as well. Oh, there's quite a few enemies on screen there. That's giving me some slowdown. I'm just going to save that. I like the fact you can actually save at any point, but I suppose you can do that in Zelda as well. Yeah, I mean, it's heavily inspired by Zelda, but it differs quite... There's quite a lot of changes, so... I mean, yeah, the hero wears green like Link, and the sword controls look similar. But then you could throw the sword and do... I see, that's quite handy to know, Naiko. Yeah, my soldering experience is not great. I need to get better. Dragoon does more soldering than me. Although I think I'm going to have to get better at doing a lot of technology, because you do have to start these retro consoles really... Things like recapping them is going to become a standard everyone's going to have to do. Because they are getting older, caps do fail and need changing. Oh, that was a hot. Your hearts do maintain the damage, I noticed, so I need to be careful. The Genesis Utopula. Yes, I finished the first Utopula on... I never played it on PC Engine. I actually managed to get it while it was on Wii. It was a very good game, Utopula. Oddly enough, funny story. My first experience of the Y series was on Wii. And I was actually going to buy the original... The first time I was going to buy the original Utopula, I inadvertently bought... Ys 1 and 2 first by accident, and I was like, oh, okay, what have I bought? Because I clicked on the... I thought, oh, I wanted to see more detail about the game. I didn't realise that was actually the purchase option. So I ended up playing Ys 1 and 2 on the Wii, and I was like, this is fantastic. I should still get Utopula, but I think Ys 1 and 2 was definitely slightly better than Utopula. But Utopula 1 and 2 are very good. Yeah, it's a good point. I'll be honest, the analog MT's the analog stuff's quite interesting, but in the UK they're a pain to buy because they don't sell them and manufacture them in the UK. Okay, if I ever do want to hook up a PS2, I will let hard drive. Oddly enough, we do actually have a hard drive that our modded PS2 can do hard drive stuff, so it's definitely something we will consider at some point. Yeah, I actually have the SNES version of Ys 3. I actually have Ys, so I've got Ys 1 and 2 on a couple of collections, all the various remakes. I have Ys 1, 2, 3 and 5, and 5 Expert. On the SNES, so I'm quite a big fan of the Y series. We've never actually covered any now that you mention it. I'll have to think about covering one at some point. Or yeast. I call it wise rather than yeast, but technically it's pronounced wise, not yeast, because yeast would have been... So, how strange. If you want to go beyond, you'll need my help, but I won't help you become humans. But I won't help you become humans are such untrustworthy beings. Kind, and I trust him, please help. Oh yeah, you're only saying because he is your master. Our animals too, just like us, it is only the language that separates. It's fair to say that a human who can speak our tongue is our friend, isn't it? The games pronounce it yeast, but Ragnar gained the courage to jump. I always pronounce it wise. I think it's actually supposed to be pronounced yeast. Well, I think in-game they pronounce it yeast. But they technically misspell the title if it's pronounced yeast. It's YS would be wise. Wise. But it's actually, I think it's pronounced yeast, which is the name they use in-game in all the dialogues. But I have an issue where if people misspell their name in their game or try something fancy and don't spell it correctly, I call it by how the name is spelled, not how they want you to pronounce it. East, yeah, east. The chat should always be staying up. We never remove it. So don't worry, MSD. I have had issues where YouTube's pulled the chat down for some unclear reason. So the chat should still be up though. Yeah, it's at the east. But I think they pronounce it in game like east, but it's technically the way they spelt it. It'd be wise, because wise. Technically, the apostrophe in the Master System version is wrong, and yes, we do have the Master System version. It is a good port. Anemona Beach. Yeah, so the chat should remain up. If there's ever a video where it's disappeared, let me know and I'll see if I can dig it up. I've had a few where YouTube... Yeah, we don't pull the chat. But sometimes YouTube doesn't always keep the chat for some reason. So we've never pulled the chat our end. But I think sometimes YouTube forgets to save it. Or you need so many... I think you might need so many chats to occur for it to save it. I will look. Sometimes it will have disabled the chat replay. Now I'm going to show... This is the beach. We'll get to see Sonic. I don't think I can actually talk to him yet. I think I'm not... But just look at that animation effect on that beach. Can we just agree that Japan doesn't know how to English? Yes, Nico, we can do. Yes, there's brilliant footprints. And that water effect is absolutely beautiful. The way it's coming in and the way it's on the shore. In fact, that ripples all the way as well. Wonderful stuff. Got holes in the beach as well. The music is... Yeah, the Japanese are really bad for... I think the reason being they spell English and pronounce English and do English how you would do Japanese, but English and Japanese are two very different languages with how you pronounce, spell and present them. The way you spell and pronounce words in Japanese is very different, and how you sound, basically how you put them together, is often very different in English, and I think they tend to put them, but yeah, they do make lots of mistakes, hence why the old English joke. It actually slightly annoys me because I think some people should badly spell Japanese as a don't do this please, because it just looks bad. Oh, Tatsujin, yeah, was changed to Truxton. Yeah, there's some weird name changes like that. Oh, it's a little mole guy there. Can we chat to him? Just had a little mole guy up here. I mean, this has got this section wonderful music, some really great visuals. Yeah, if there's any videos where the chat has disappeared, just leave a comment to say, is the chat still available, and I'll look into it. But we've never actually removed the chat per se, but I'd known on 1 or 2 videos, YouTube seems to have taken the chat down totally, the chat live archive, and I don't know why. I think it's because if people don't chat enough, it assumes that, that the chat isn't worth keeping. Which is annoying. So there's Sonic in his deck chair. Yes, people will do that if you make up names or something, and then people go, "Oh, this video." So you actually did the music, and then yeah, that probably will happen. People will think that you've used the actual titles rather than just made them up, which means people haven't done their research properly. Ah, there we go. Okay, so I can throw and hit that. Ooh. Can we chat to Sonic? Can we chat to Sonic? Has that made a hole in the fence? It has done. Whee! I've never actually spoken to Sonic before. Tisk tisk, I'm a gallant hedgehog. You'll get burned if you touch me. Quite nice to see him doing the old. Just trying to work out how he's got at least 2 or 3. Is it just the 2? Is it just keyframe animation? Have they blended it, or has he got? Yeah, it's nice to be able to actually see Sonic in this. Okay, so we can go up the beach, that's north side. We've got a golden apple there. I think the golden apples might increase your health, I might be wrong, or do they restore all your health? Okay, so there's a few bits I still can't access, I think, at the minute. I can't get... Yeah, there's quite a lot of animate. I'm quite surprised how much animation is actually on characters. A partner come in, Ramsey and... Ramsey, you can hire your partners here. I will introduce some of them to you. Okay. Oh, oh, I see. He's a Ramsey and he's a ram. Oh, that's quite nice. Give me your 50 to... Should I hire the kitty or should we find out what else there's? Probably should hire the cat, shouldn't I? There's lots of animals. So we've got the bear and the... Criticise how the canned crab is? I'm not sure. What's the canned crab? Oh, is that a reference to the film? Make way for Mr. Bear. We've got the other cat following. It's obviously the monkey house. What to go through? Sorry for that huge drop, but there's nothing we can do. We may... Oh, Gordon Ramsay. Ah, that's an interesting joke. Ah, yes, Gordon Ramsay. Yes, good joke there. To the top is the rock. The rock of reflection to the touch and repent. So we can touch the rocks. I have to jump on it a number of times. Okay. Daddy found I can lift heavy objects with my nose. Do you want to know how it's done? Yes. To lift things. Press A in front of it. Do you want to lift and press it to Oh, I see. Oh, nice. I do like the way you learn abilities in this by sort of chatting to people. Yeah, if you had a Japanese version, this might be a little bit difficult to play. There's a slight graphics bug there. That's obviously the corner of that where they're changing the effects. Yeah, because you have the inner. So basically, you have a foreground there. So it's easy if we try. That's a... Yeah, this has got some really nice creative things. The fact you have to jump on this thing. So again, the fact you have to jump on the door, they sort of implied you to jump on the door to open it. I'll hire the cat. Obviously, Kitty is... Oh, oh, I see. So I don't need to actually equip the cat. So basically the cat, if I die, I don't need to actually have the cat equipped. She's obviously an automatic ability. Can I chat to the other kitty? Don't seem to be able to make way for Sir Bear. So does that mean I can pick up these rocks? Push them as well. It's got unexpected. Yeah, this is really, I will admit, it's got some really nice ideas. This is it's definitely not your conventional RPG, and it does do a lot of things that Zelda doesn't do. So why don't we move the rock and take a look? Yes, we can move the rock. Now we've just unleashed... Oh, whoa! That's actually blowing me. I'm actually... Okay, that is very impressive. We actually have a really nice mechanic there. That is... Just going to pause it and take a quick drink. Yes, the wind is indeed blowing, so it actually pushes me either way based on what direction the wind's coming from. So it's coming from the left and the right. So there, it'll actually push me that way, and I think it'll push me off if I'm not careful. There's a few bits where it will actively push me off. So it's quite an interesting one. There's lots to do. It's a really nice mechanics. Yeah, it's nice to see that type of mechanics in a Mega Drive game. So I'm going to have to come back the other way, obviously, to hit that one. We've got the slugs. We've already got a rescue. So we've done the first boss that's a wolf. And obviously I assume there's going to be a boss this way as well. Yeah, all the lashing rocks. I mean, visually for a Mega Drive game, this is very impressive. Lots of effects. Where you can't even jump against the wind as well. They've really done this well. I will admit this is actually much. This got some really nice mechanics. So that wind is something you don't have in Zelda. They're really obviously trying to show features you could do in Zelda, but Nintendo never have, and still haven't to this day. I think. Well, they did. They had the wind a little bit in. So not sure what I can do there. Right. If this is going to do what I think I'm going to do, this is going to be an interesting one. I'm waiting for the wind to go this side. Well, yes. Yes, so you have to use the momentum of the wind to make that jump. Whoa, whoa, we don't want to go into the water there. Oh, yes, you actually got to fight against that bit. Okay, this was a pain to jump. That was a bit of pain, and there we go. Jump, jump. I want to jump across before the wind hits. Eat. I will save when I get a little further into this stage. There, I missed it. I think we're all good at the minute. Okay, so that's a shortcut back. So basically we're unlocking sections we can revisit. Yeah, I would actually like to get the analog consoles. I'd quite like the analog NES, but they're A, very expensive, and B, just a nightmare to import into the UK because analog don't have a UK distributor, so you've got to pay import tax and all sorts, and the cost at the minute means they're going to be very expensive because analog don't seem to be that professional with their out. Rather than having sort of European arm for distributing, it just seems like they're just an American, so it's a bit of a shame really. I would like to try one of their consoles at some point. Make a jump there. Now, can I get across all that shatter? Yes. Okay, this is going to be interesting when the wind blows. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, it doesn't force me off the edge if I stay on. Yeah, a lot of the stuff's developed in the States, so for us to get it in this country, we have to pay... So from the UK, you have to pay import tax on top of the fact you're going to have to pay usually an exchange rate when if you're buying something in dollars. And that in itself can be a bit difficult because sometimes your card won't be accepted if it's a UK card and you're trying to buy something in the US. And you'll tax-wise, you're probably going to end up, if you get hit by import tax, you will have to pay at least about 100 odd quid. Okay, I'm guessing this block here is going to be needed for something. Oh, you can't move while you're holding stuff. Around here. No, let's go, go, go. Oh, oh, oh. Analog's a word I'd use since the old TV system, so that's what it seems to me. The use of the analog signal, that's how I see it. Oh, you have to pay double costs, yeah. Yeah, I think we'd have to pay. I'm not sure how it's spelled in the US, but to me it just thinks old, yeah, analog stick and analog TV. No, that blue one doesn't want to rescind, does it? I just need to hit switch. Oh, yes, I know. That's what I've got to do. I've actually got to... Oh, I've got to wait for the wind to blow. So I'm not getting that gold apple just yet. Much like colour. Yeah, colour. It's spelt differently. You have a U, you don't. We have a U, you don't. Arguably because you don't really pronounce it with a U. I think that's why the US version doesn't have it. Quite a few odd spellings and translation changes. It's always quite interesting to see the difference between English. There are a few comical changes as well, where if you understand what it means in America or English, it's quite funny because it's quite a different thing in Okay, that wind is. You really have to utilize that mechanic. I'm quite impressed. You're gonna make. I really know. Yeah, there's some weird other things with the languages. Like there are still words in the English dictionary that are weirdly spelt, and the reason they're often some of them were historically weirdly spelt was because back in sort of like the 18th century or 17th, when they initially did dictionaries and things, they would actually create the way they spelt words, so that way if another dictionary copied them, they say, oh, you spelt it like we spelt it, so we know you've copied us, which often means that some names are just spelt horribly wrong. Okay, now I'm stuck. Can I jump on that? I can do. And yes, pants. Yeah, fantasy. Pants, yes, because pants in the UK mean underwear, male underwear, whereas in America they use what we call trousers, you would call pants, as in your leggings. I don't think Americans use the word... I think fantasies are sort of... I'm not sure why. Sometimes some words just have multiple spellings. I'm not sure if that's the American spelling of fantasy, because I... About the history of language, yeah. Yes, I was a professional games tester at one point, so I can chat and talk. I may lose my gaming ability slightly these days, chatting and talking, but... Oh. I'm used to that way, yeah. And there's a lot of quibbles like that where, because old people said it at one point, they've then subsequently incorporated it into the language. Or Scottish, yeah. McDonald sounds like a Scottish clan name, so it's quite a traditional one. Doesn't always mean people, but usually means they've got Scottish heritage. Okay, I think that one I've definitely done wrong. I'm not sure how I can fix that one. Ah, can I jump up and throw it when the wind is going my way? Yes, it's certainly interesting one, the fact you have two spellings of fancy. Yeah, fancy, does that mean fancy star is set in Ireland? That's okay, MSD. Thanks for joining the stream. I think we've been going on for quite a while now, haven't we? 1 hour, coming up to 2 hours, so... I must admit, I definitely find streaming RPGs is better than doing gameplay videos because I can stream them for quite a few hours to show a reasonable amount of content, because just doing like an hour video, often you get like the start tutorial section, which doesn't therefore make for great watching. Oh, yes, okay. Okay, oh. Have I got to jump on that jellyfish? Okay, that fact we've got loads of hearts here suggesting, or apples, is telling me I should probably do that. Oh yeah, this is actually a very good game. Thank you again for your kind donation, MSD. Okay, here we go with a boss. Ooh, nice. Who are you, boy? If you come for the penguin, you can't have... Have him take a dose of... Thing-good attack. Phantasmagoria. Yes, that's an interesting game. I've never actually played it, but I've seen a few videos of it. You have a giant octopus, Phantasmagoria. Good day, night. Yeah, well, it's night in the UK, but you have a good day, MSD, because I think you're in the US, so you're probably a few hours. But ooh, some nice effects. Got some nice spinning effects. But yes, thank you again for your donation. Very much appreciated. Ooh. So watch him. He's throwing out. I've got to time these throws just right. Ooh. I think they've got it. Narration. Penguy the penguin joins the group depending on which animal... Okay, so we've actually... I didn't get the gold apple. I have to go back later and try and get it. Medium Lily is in Arissa Village just beyond Hot Daisy. Under normal, it's difficult to get there. We beat the octopus. That's a really nice boss fight, I will admit. This is a very impressive title. Save it. So if I press these rocks long enough, do they give me any bonus? It's a slightly weird fact that they... Definitely another quiet stream tonight, I will admit. Although it's still nice to have a chat to you guys there, MSD and Nico. I think more people would want Saturn stuff, so... Okay, what she's saying is different to... That was very brave of you if you hadn't... Sounds like the translation may have been slightly different. She's saying ignore what my husband's saying, but he's complimenting us. You want to fast, so if you want to run, we need to go to the village of Iris. Okay. I think I need a longer sword or something. I'm not sure how to get a lot of those gold apples. They're slightly like, leaving me a bit like, how do I get them? This one that's... Wait, the little dude will protect me as well. I assume we can use him for the eyes. I wonder if we need him for the lava section coming ahead. So I do like the way the eyes, just your character's eyes there. It's like layering issue with your pets, but it's just quite a nice feature. I do love the water ripples in the sand. It's just wonderful, and the records all your footprints for ages as well. If you will get items in the sand as well. Ooh. So I appear to have a few upgraded hearts as well, so obviously I've got level ups. Oh, how far out of the water can you go? But this is a very nice... I mean, it really is a very well put together Mega Drive game. Just wonderful looking as well. It's just a shame it's quite expensive now. I think partly because it's not been on any collections to date. Oh, he icy causes my sword to have an ice attack, the penguin. So hopefully Sega, if you're watching, please do look at releasing this on one of your future retro collections. Yeah, the attention to detail is wonderful. I mean, you don't... A lot of the modern games don't tend to have this type of attention to detail. Some of them do, but there's just... they've realised that you've got limited graphics and everything, but they've really done everything they can do to take advantage of it, and the gameplay as well just feels very smooth, very easy to play. But definitely as Sega now own Atlus, there's no reason why they couldn't actually re-release the North American English, the PAL English version, and the just every version of the game. I think this would be one I would like to see re-released. So I assume you need the penguin to enter Hot Daisy. I'm guessing if you don't have the penguin... Oh, got a nice little rain effect in the background. The scale. The bridge is falling apart. I need to ice up my sword pretty quick. Yes, okay, so you can't kill that dragon unless you have to use the sword, the throw that ices up the blade. Okay, that's gonna be a bit tricky. That means I have to throw at the enemies. Yeah, that's one of the things. Like Zelda Link to the Past had a lot of unexpected interactivity. So some nice things like you could grab the little chappie that came up out of the plants if you chopped them, and he would then give you an item if you. And you could also throw back the fish into the water, and they would if you've had a fish that was just jumping around, if you threw it back into the water, it would thank you by giving you some rupees. So there were lots of subtle things like that in Zelda. In A Link to the Past that didn't really get put into other Zelda games. Okay, I need run. I'm actually going to head back to the get the intermediate training course, because this is a little bit tricky to see what I get from. I think once you've done a location, you can also skip through it as well. So Dahlia Valley, I can skip through it because I've cleared it. But I've one gripe, there's not actually a place to heal up at the minute. And this is what gets me with a lot of retro games, you know, retro-themed modern games. A lot of them really don't lack the depth of a game like this and don't understand why developers made. So a lot of later, as I've said before, if you're an indie developer and you're watching the stream, you need to look at not the early games in the Mega Drive and the SNES, you need to look at the later games, how they were really pushing the system and developed to that standard. Because when you release a retro game, you're effectively competing against all those retro games from that era. And if your game doesn't look as good as, say, a late-end SNES or Mega Drive title, then, or even play as good as them, then you're kind of missing the point of making a retro-themed game. So yeah, annoyingly I can't talk to anyone at the minute. That's the one thing we also have actually means you can't chat to them for a bit, although I think it's only for a short bit because we're headed to the village of Iris. Okay, so I can't swim yet either, so I shouldn't be jumping. But yeah, I mean, I quite like a visual range of colour. I don't like visual games that try to copy the NES palette when you've got barely any colours. It's like, well, it's a modern machine give a bit of colour. But yeah, I know some give you rainbow spectrums. I generally don't mind colour. It's more when people would like re-emulate the NES look, and then often they use too many colours to emulate the NES look anyway. Because unless you knew how to really code for the NES, you've got a very limited colour palette. I can't chat to any of them. That's a bit irritating. Chopping all this gas and not getting much in the way of extra time. So that's quite cool. We've got a foreground. I'm hopeful. Come on, give me some apples, guys. Apples. Could really do some health right about now. Yeah, coins are nice. Health is better. That was a bit close. I was a bit concerned about that. Ooh, that was close as well. Well, a few lucky escapes. I am literally on death's door at the minute, so... Oh, come on, give me some health. Don't think there's an inn to rest up in town either, so... Come on. Oh, just, yes. Okay, so the cat has just saved my blushes. Oh! Ah, I thought I had to jump for it. I had to throw for that one. Better go buy myself another cat. And we have a lot of bees and a lot of slowdown on screen. Plus I got plenty of gold, but I... Ah, that's what I could do earlier, couldn't I? So... Lots of routes in these stages, but these are big, big stages. I'm actually going to just come back, because... This is a dead-end area, yeah. The only thing I will say is some of the switches you seem to get knocked off of, so... I'm guessing that's down, the waterfall's down to the bottom, and we don't want to take that just yet. Okay, that's actually quite a difficult foreground because that's actually slightly blocking my... Okay. Why would you have one there? Well, a bit. This trial is getting a bit long in the tooth, so to speak. It's a bit long, this one. But yeah, this actually is surprisingly how big this game is. We've done 2 bosses. So that grass root's going up. Yeah, throwing your sword is vastly better than just swiping it. Swiping it, it's not very good. Large spoon, yes, this one. Yeah. It's perhaps not the most menacing weapon, I will admit. Just that's the gold. Okay, so we've got quite a lot of coins at the minute. Okay, I can't. I'm assuming the switch is there, so I have to actually go that the other way round. I do like to explore games, so I always try and find all the items and power-ups first time round. I think I may have missed a few golden apples. I think some of them might be permanent health power-ups as well. Again, we've got lots of choices to where to go. Bloomin', this stage is huge. This is supposed to be a training area. How much training do I need to understand jumping? This isn't training, this is trials. This makes Trials of Osiris on Destiny look easy. Trials of Osiris, which is also currently unplayable thanks to, at the minute, because Bungie's solution to the fact there are people who are basically so fed up of having to win matches, they basically resorted to organising who's going to win. Which is kind of what happens if you don't have a good worldly designed games mechanic. Which is a problem with Trials. Because basically Trials of Osiris is basically a game mode where if you don't have not a superb player who has the very best equipment and specific weapons, then you ain't going to get anywhere, which is the problem you have with some of these online games like Destiny these days, that some specific, if you don't have a specific setup, then you're just utterly beaten in match from the get-go, no matter how good you are. If the other guys is just as good and have the best weapons, then you don't stand a chance. Hence why something like that should actually, a mode like that should actually give players preset weapons from the get-go, so basically they're all given the same loadout, so then it's completely fair in terms of equipment, and then it's entirely based on your skill. Okay, so that was just seemed to be not much point in going that way. But I must admit, the Mega Drive's RGB really is very, very nice, clear and concise. It's so much better than the SNES RGB as well. It's just wonderfully. And this looks it's a very nice looking game. They make quite good use of the Mega Drive's limited colour palette, I will agree. It's definitely a game that makes good use of it. I realise that you are limited to all the colours, but they've done a pretty good job of getting over that issue. All blue blocks can be pushed. That's not true. Blue blocks with arrows can be pushed. Oh, I see. I should have to jump across there. So what's the other way across? There's lots of ways to go. I do like exploring everywhere. I'm one of those RPG fans. In any game, I like to explore every sort of section of a game before finally going for the loot, if possible. There's nothing worse than missing a cutscene or some hidden bonus you then have to re-explore or refinish the game even to get a second chance at. Okay, you. Ooh. Okay, that felt a bit Sonic-y, actually. I can't talk to that guy either. Hitting the red switch. Yep, Yeah, a lot of things you could... There are times where I do think, am I playing a Zelda game here? Okay, that... Ooh. Gained this Ragnar, gained the silver medal. Okay, it's time to get out of here, I assume. Picnic tables at the ready. Ah, this is... Ah, so this area here is going to come from the... I see, that's from the advanced course, isn't it, that way? They all link up. I need to quickly redo the start of that course. So it's random if we get... I need to rebuy the cat as well. There was that waterfall bit I think you could fall down as well. Okay, there was the waterfall. Oh, you can actually fall down there, but it will just take you to here. It's like the water rippling effect as well in the water. Some really nice, there's lovely animation in this game. It really is a beautifully crafted Mega Drive game. They've got more than just like single key, like 1 or 2 keyframes as well. You have a very smooth gliding. It really shows it's a late life Mega Drive game, and I should actually save it, seeing as yes. I think my one gripe said you can't really seem to heal up in town. Soleil town. So as you learnt, they have made some slight change between the North American and Japanese one with the church. We can't talk to anyone in the village. So basically, because you have to meet with the fortune teller again. That's just the one slight gripe I will have, that you lose contact with everyone until you meet with the fortune teller for a second time. No, everything's very moving, isn't it? There's lots of life with this game. It's very well put together. It's always from the water flowing, everything. Actually, I should get the cat again, shouldn't I? Quickly get the cat back. Yeah, because it's always very animated. Yeah, you're spot on with that. It's just beautifully done. It's never a sort of dull moment to say there's nothing static. There's always something moving. Like this wonderful beach effect of the water. Now the only question is, can I get it back to the animal village quite quickly, or do I need to go back? Okay, you do have... Okay, that's a bit of an annoyance to get back to the animal village. You do have to... At least I can remember there's 4 apples in that. In that one to the side there. Yeah, so you have to actually go up all through all this section again. Okay, that would be handy. It'd be handy if there was a permanent shortcut. But slow down there, as I think thought was a really nice effect overall. You can chat to Sonic to Silver Statistics, going the gallant hedgehog. You'll get burned if you touch me. I also need some way to curve my sword, so... So yeah, she is a, oh, what do we call it? An active skill, or, oh, there's terms we tend to use in games. An innate skill that will trigger as soon as you die, so. So it's worth having her always in your inventory at all the costs, so that way, if you make a mistake, you won't. Yeah, no, that tax change was quite unexpected, I have to admit. The fact you now have to pay US tax. You do have to pay UK tax as well if your earnings are high enough in this country, although at the minute randomised gaming doesn't make huge sums of earnings, I will admit. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting change. I imagine there'll be a lot of people complaining about that, but that's the rules, and we just have to do as the rules say, so... I wonder it's because YouTube's a US cost centre. Ooh, you really got to get your swords just right with these things. Because you can't hurt it with the swing, it has to be with the charge. Which... Oh, jump, jump. Oh, more than one of them. Ooh. The thing is, you're quite limited to where your sword will... Because your sword hits things. Ironically, like Landstalker, people said about. And Dark Souls, so your sword bounces off things in this, but not... Yeah, so your main sword doesn't. Yeah, that... The other lower path was a bit of a red herring. I think the jumps were too long. I think I need to be able to run. Okay. This is where you get stuck here. If you didn't have the penguin. So it's freezing sword ability. Really very helpful. I'm guessing I can push this in front, yeah. No, it's only if you throw it, if it's certain hits certain things. So, what do I do here? Okay, that one's cracked, isn't it? Okay, that actually got destroyed. That's not clear you can actually attack. Some of these attackable blocks aren't that clear. guess I need to make a shortcut. Does that make a shortcut in the fence? Oh, there'll be gold down there. I will go and get my gold. Arr. It's a rest cave. Hopefully it's not somewhere to... I don't have to worry about the dragon. Okay, so I've passed Hot Days, so Hot Daisy, Burn Daisy, I shoot. Yeah, so that's another nice stretch, the fact that once you've done a location you can move through it without having to do it. So I assume this is inside the volcano? Yeah. Okay, so I can't ice that up just yet. We've got to go through the volcano. Just going to save this. I suspect there'll be another boss. I will probably wrap it up fairly soon as it's 2 hours in. Thanks for the likes, guys. Very much appreciated. A couple of likes now, so glad everyone's enjoying this. As mentioned earlier in the stream, this is known as Soleil in... Ooh. Oh, the floor is falling apart. Soleil in Europe. It's known as Crusader of Centuries. Crusader of Centy in North America, and it's called Shin Souseiki Ragnacenty in Japan, and Ragnacenty, just Ragnacenty in Korea. A best translation is actually like the story of basically like it was the new century Ragnacenty, basically the... Okay, I've done that wrong because I need to push. No. Oh. Nice little block puzzle there. The new Century of Ragnacenty. Basically, it's effectively like telling that a new era has come to pass and of the light and the dark meeting one another in effect, which is quite a nice touch. But yeah, I don't think the name is good in any... I think in Japan it makes sense, but I think it's one of those Japanese names that when you convert to English, it doesn't sell you what the game is, which I think is an issue. Music is very subtle as well. Oh, gotta watch that. The ground does break at certain points. Gotta keep moving. Okay, we've got multiple floors of this dungeon. Okay, and this is a dead end from... This is a dead end from the get-go by the looks of it. Ragnacenty the most. Yeah, I think I like Ragnacenty. I think it's because it's slightly... It's an interesting name, so it makes you wonder, think, oh, Ragnacenty, what's that? Soleil just... Yeah, it probably is the sort of the most. I think it's probably the most interesting name. So it makes you think, well, what if you saw it in the shop? You go, Ragnacenty. What's this? Oh, it looks like an RPG. It makes you think, what is the game? With some of the others. We've got multiple entrances and exits. This feels like it's almost got like a little saxophone playing in the background. This song's... a point and click adventure. Yeah, I mean Crusader of Centy sounds like some sort of epic battle game. It doesn't quite say RPG where you talk to the animals and... I mean, Soleil reminds me a bit of Solstice as well, so I partly... So Equinox and Solstice comes to mind. I just... The colour is also just terrible. What is that colour for the Power One? I mean, if you saw that, you'd just be like, oh, it reminds me more of the Immortal than it. It just does not do the game justice. And I know from... Even on PSN... Your colour will literally be what will sell your game to people. So that icon image art, if it's not up to scratch, you have to make people look at it, go, that looks good, I'm going to pick that up and just see what that game's about. If your icon does not do that... I just like the way the lava's flowing as well. Slightly trippy, but... Everything feels alive in this game, which is... something a lot of games miss. And quite big dungeons, as MSD said. Certainly makes you think about where you need to go and what you need to do. I don't seem to be very good at not taking damage from those things. Got to time it right to trap them just right. Yeah, I feel it's a bit saxophony, the music. It's very jazzy, this one. Sort of slow jazz blues. Oh, don't be a dead end. Okay, this feels something should be here. Okay, yeah, that's it. You have got to pay attention to all the little quirks and the hidden blocks. For Zelda with pets as tools. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It sounds like some epic battle game. And Soleil doesn't really mention, just, you're like, well, what's Soleil? Okay. Oh, is that a pet? Like a bird, but it's been burnt to ashes. Oh. I suspect that is a phoenix. There's two entrances and exits. I need to choose wisely which one to go through. Is this going to be... Okay, this is the boss. Oh. You're the real one. Okay, I missed the real... Did you see which one was the... Oh, tried to explain it. Might be quite difficult. Oh, I've got to hit him as well, it seems. Okay, yes, he has a different expression on. Okay, I've got to look for the one that... Okay, this boss battle's a bit confusing because I'm still hitting the one that looks like it's supposed to be, and it's not hitting. Okay, I have to wait till he's... I see. I've got... Okay, I actually have to wait. Oh, I see. You have to wait your turn. So it's that one. Oh, that one. That one, I think. Oh, no, it was the other one. Okay. This goes to there. Goes to there. This goes to there. Up to there, so it's this one. Okay, right. This battle's confusing. I thought it was like you had to battle him. Here's this one. The flying squirrel. Till he stops shifting. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. I thought you had to attack him. That's my mistake. Burnt to ashes, so obviously we'll be coming back for that bird. Got another boss here? Is this we've got multiple bosses? Okay, so we have some chap and I can't talk to him. Ah, rebound the sword. Ah, so that's how I get that other one. Okay, so this allows me to rebound it, so you've got a longer sword. So I have no idea why I can't get past that. There must be some reason. Obviously I could chat to that character. This is really good. Obviously, we'll definitely be back at a lot of these locations to get additional stuff. There's definitely a good reason to explore, so that poor bird, we can't resuscitate it just yet, but we will be back later on. when I have the relevant items. So there's a lot of explorative like Zelda. It does feel very open world, even though it's not true open world. I do like all the abilities in this. It feels like I'm getting better as I go on. Yeah, this. And they're also basically bonus abilities. So I assume this is going to take me out of the cave. Okay. See, so well, at some point we'll be able to skip that. Iris, so we can go back to Iris. This is the village where the fortune teller is supposedly hanging out, so we can ask her to speak to people again. Okay, that's really quite handy. So you can basically use it as like a zoom function, the sword now. Ah! Okay, so saying I need to bounce it off. I do really like some of the powers in this are really interesting. The fact you can throw the sword so far away gives you. Yeah, it does, Nikon. And seeing as it was originally going to be developed as, but I should actually mention this was, as I said, Shining Rogue. So this was at one stage going to be part of the Shining series, but obviously Camelot said no, seeing as they weren't developed. But yes, thanks for joining the stream. Glad you enjoyed it. And do let me know if you actually play through this. Let me know what you think of it. I think I should actually play through this myself now. I've never actually finished this myself, so I think this is definitely one. This and Landstalkers, I think I might actually try and finish. At some point in the near future. Okay, so how do I get through here? This stage is slightly... I appreciate the likes and thanks for being on stream. Very much appreciated. Have a good night. I'm just going to see if I can freeze the... I'm guessing at the time as Camelot didn't develop it, and they were also doing a Mega CD title with Shining Wisdom originally being Mega CD. I'm guessing that's why this didn't get to be made part of the Shining series. Because Camelot did a Mega. Because this would have been quite a nice addition to the series. I think Sega made the mistake of not expanding the series more than what they did actually. Okay, have I got to like do some mad bounce? gonna have to guess there's a switch somewhere I need to hit. Oh, of course, you gotta hide in the holes. That totally passed me by. So even that hidden mechanic does have a use. That's quite nice to see. So lots of mechanics in this. Really does. I mean, there's quite a lot of pets. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pets, and I have 4 at the minute. So that means, yeah, 3 rows of 5 is 15. Okay, so the gold heart, okay, I'm going to have to go back and get the gold ones. They do give you a permanent increase. So what is the point of coming up here? So it can jump. Maybe there's a shortcut later on we can utilise that. I should actually mention this game does have a region lockout, but I'm using a region adapter to bypass the region lock. As far as I can tell, there's no clear issues at 60 Hz. Music, everything seems fine. Next Tech, I don't think were known for power optimizing their games. Whereas Ancient and Treasure both did optimize some of their stuff, so some of their stuff doesn't work well at 60 Hz and you need to buy the relevant versions. Which in Alien Soldier's case is a bit tricky, seeing as the Japanese one is very expensive. The PAL version literally puts it into turbo mode at 60 Hz. Actually going to finish myself in a second. Let's see if I can get... I've got to the end of this area. Brilliant. There's no sign of the fortune teller though yet. Okay, we can actually talk to the people here again. Oh, we can talk to her. He is enjoying it. Okay, I think that's a bug actually. She is saying, I don't like heroes. Yep, she is the wrong translation string. She is using Corey the dog's translation string. Ooh. We have an open treasure chest. Well, I haven't actually opened the treasure chest yet. So that was Eamon the Knight champion who we met earlier. Everyone's talking gobbledygook at the minute. I'll ruin the farmer's crop. Haven't actually had anything to pick up since we've done the earlier section. I like the way he raises an eyebrow though. So he's smoking a pipe, which technically in a kid's game some people might frown upon. He raises a very conscientious eyebrow when he speaks to Okay, I'm guessing whatever's been here is not something quite menacing. Okay, that looks like looks like I will be having to jump into the hole down below. Let me see. Is that how I actually get to the next bit? Are we going to have to jump in? Yes, we are. Oh no. Okay, I thought we did actually going to have to jump in there and find out. So wherever the fortune teller is, she's currently... Or it could be a man. It looked like it was a woman. Come back some other time. Okay, so... The fortune teller is missing and we can't talk to the people, so I'm guessing we're going to have to head the deep into the world. However, this is where I'm going to end my journey in tonight's stream. I think this will be another game. I really quite enjoyed this, so I might revisit it at some point. It's been the first 3 hours of Soleil. Soleil. Yes, it's actually a very good title. So as mentioned, Shin Souseiki Ragnacenty, which is probably its true name, Ragnacenty, and of course Crusaders of Century. Just lifting out the manual to see if there's any interesting information. There's not actually a lot. Coins, bag of them. There's not actually much. The manual is actually really quite small for this game. There's only... It's about 15 pages, 16 pages. Ah, but it's all in English. It's not... I've got an all English one, so... Because you used to get like all 6 languages. This one actually details... Map screen, command screen, main game. Getting pushy, pick that up. Sword fights, rebounding. Yep, it's got all the mechanics here. Especially the 6-button controller, but it doesn't actually use the 6-button controller. It only uses basically this F3, but this basically start ABC. Shame it doesn't actually make use of the other controls. It would be handy if the charge attack was assigned to one of the other buttons. With this rather charming music player, I will say I have been your host of this randomised gaming stream, Random Game Ribbon. Thank you for watching. This has been Soleil on the Sega Mega Drive from Ghoul Entertainment and Next Tech. And it was published by Sega in Europe and Sega in Japan and Europe, and North America was published by Atlus, strangely, despite being a Sega game. Is it a very well put together title? Yeah, I wonder if the fortune teller has taken that treasure. But I'll find out another day. But yes, this is I really enjoyed this one. Very nice little Zelda clone. Make sure I just saved that. But yes, if you enjoyed this stream, please do hit that like button. Thank you very much for everyone who has joined this stream. Thank you for all your contributions. Thank you to Nico and MSD for chatting as we went along. Very much appreciated. It's been a pleasure. Thank you all for joining the stream, and I will be back again on Thursday with another game to stream on the Mega Drive. Thursday will be the last day I stream this week. It'll also be the last day I stream a Mega Drive game. I think next week we'll do something else. But thank you to everyone who's watched this stream. Thank you. I expect a lot of people don't realise Crusader of Centy had so many names. I expect more people probably be aware of the US name. But thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this stream, and I will say good night from me and everyone here at the Randomised Gaming team here in the UK. And I will see you in next stream. So have a good night, good evening, good morning, and good afternoon wherever you are in the world. I will see you all next time.